Doug Stanek, number 36, Monash Barbarians. You're watching GVTV.
We have a special feature presentation on our newest club, the Bendigo Dragons, from the guys at Apex Imagery. For over 2 decades, there's been great interest from members of the Bendigo community to enter a gridiron team into the Victorian League. Despite a few attempts, the player numbers and coaching experience fell short of accomplishing the goal. That was until 2012. With the creation of a Facebook page asking if there was any interest within the local community, a meeting was held in October. With almost 40 players turning up, the signs were positive for the foundations of a club. From that initial interest, training was started. Many hot summer nights and even hotter summer days were spent developing the basic skills of the players. As only 2 players had prior experience, much of the time was spent teaching the rules of the game leading up to the end of the year. It was decided by the players and coaches that the summer break would be utilised as a time to increase our presence into the local community through Facebook. Returning in mid-January, the first training session saw our player numbers increase from an average of 20 in 2012 to 47 for our first session. In a short time frame, the Bendigo Dragons started to develop a presence within the local media. In a short time frame, the Bendigo Dragons started to develop a presence within the local media. With radio interviews and local newspaper coverage, the numbers turning up at training continued to increase with each session. While there were many who came and went, the numbers of players committing were now up to 50+ players. The Bendigo Dragons have managed to secure a fantastic stadium for their home games, the Tom Flood Centre, along with some very prominent businesses as their initial sponsors. Hosting the only evening games in 2013, the Bendigo Dragons are using this opportunity to showcase an alternative sport to a new market. In 2013, the Bendigo Dragons are aiming to cement their team within Gridiron Victoria and the Central Goldfields community. Our goal for this year is to develop the skills and understanding of the sport within the players and use as a strong base to build towards future years. Taking a realistic attitude as a new team, the Dragons may not win all their games, but they aim to ensure all opponents take notice of what is being developed up north as they see the fire within.
Yeah, training's coming along really well. We started the pre-season training back in, it was September last year was the initial get-together of the guys. Since then we've had a lot of guys come on. Like January was our big pickup when we came back after Christmas break. We went from an average of about 15 guys prior to Christmas to averaging just over 40 players at each training session since then. One of the important things to consider is that this team really is, it's a team of rookies. It's not a team where you're adding in a few rookies to what's already been established. You're developing right from the ground up. And one of the first things we had to do was really build a club, and then we were looking at make sure that we've got somewhere that the guys want to be, somewhere they want to be a part of, look at the long-term viability for us, and then from there we had to look at our team purpose. Start looking at, well, who can play in what positions. We had a lot of guys that had dreams of playing in different positions. I think everybody wanted to score touchdowns, but realistically they've discovered that their body and their style, their stamina is more suited for a specific position. Our goal this year is to make sure, number one, is to make sure that we finish the year. We don't want to be another one of those teams that just comes into the league, starts fading off as you go through the season, and then you're barely scraping enough numbers to get on the field. We're looking at 3 years from now. Where are we going to be? How do we develop that the players, their skill set to take them to the right spot? So our aim this year is to learn, and that's the key focus for this year, is learn. And the only way you're going to learn this game is on the field. Against opponents. So we're looking at this year, we expect that we will win some games, and we expect to be competitive with teams. And for other teams, sure, we may not be competitive as on the scoreboard, but out on that field, I expect those guys to give it 100% every time. It doesn't matter who they are, their job, their responsibility must be upheld. back in the early 90s, there was a couple of attempts to start up a team here in Bendigo, but unfortunately the interest was just not quite enough there. They were probably lacking about 5 or 10 players. So when they were looking at getting this team up and running, there were some initial concerns whether or not it would be that same, just slightly under. Are they only going to have 25 to 30 guys? Whereas right now we've got just over 50 guys that are committed to the team, that have, you know, purchased their equipment. They're turning up to training, rotating through on a regular basis. Looking forward to this year.
I'm Nathan DePolo, I play for the Northern Raiders, and you're watching Gridiron Victoria TV.
The men's senior competition comprises 11 teams across 2 divisions. Kicking things off on the weekend of May 4 and 5, the season runs for 15 weeks, culminating in the playoffs, then the 2013 TGI Fridays Vic Bowl on the weekend of August 24 and 25. Following the seniors will be the 2013 junior season starting in mid-September. Our junior program is an 8-week season for 14 to 18-year-olds with at least 6 clubs across the state entering a young team. If you're interested in playing junior gridiron, keep an eye on gridironvictoria.com.au through the year, as clubs will be recruiting and pre-season training in July. With an established women's league in Queensland and competitions proposed in other states across Australia, we're very excited about the prospect of our own full-kit women's competition here in Victoria. With the trailblazing Western Foxes established last year in Footscray and the Northern Raiders up and running in Reservoir, the Melbourne Uni Royals and Geelong Buccaneers have committed to getting a team ready for the inaugural season. To borrow a line from the Raiders, we like our women big, small, short, tall, slow, fast and strong. Gridiron Victoria is committed to celebrating sport and looking forward to full uniform, full contact, hard-hitting women's football. With lots going on in 2013, be sure to keep up to speed with everything Gridiron Victoria right here on GVTV on the 4th Thursday of the month on Channel 31. Thanks for watching. This is Ali Dean and you've been watching GVTV.